Skeptics Review, the Bible, by John Smith. So before we move on to our next chapters, there's something I want to touch on that I meant to bring up in my last video, and kind of got lost in the shuffle. There was so much that I wanted to cover in chapter 32 after all. Remember that I said my Sunday school lessons were, shall we say, edited for a rated G audience, and the full story went, number 1, Moses came down from the mountain, got mad, smashed the tablets. Number 2, ground the golden calf into powder, which had to take some time to do, I imagine, and then mixed the gold powder with water and made the people drink it. So did he make all 600,000 men and all uncounted women and children drink it? Number 3, then he took some time to chastise Aaron his brother for not keeping the people in line. And finally, number 4, Moses ordered the Levites to kill 3,000 men, and presumably uncounted women and children, after convincing God not to destroy them all. I only bring this up to say that the killing of 3,000 men doesn't seem like it was so spur of the moment or in some sort of fanatical religious zeal or righteous anger or some such, as some believers might claim if you bring it up to them, but instead, cold and calculated killing on the part of old Moses. Just something to think about. Exodus 33. So right off the bat, Lord Yahweh repeats himself from last chapter. Leave Mount Sinai, take the people, go to the land that I promised those dudes from Genesis, where people are already living, but who cares about them? But I, in my omnipresence, won't be going with you, because I might arbitrarily destroy you people. Because you people suck. You can't even follow basic instructions. Stupid Israelites. And then we are treated to a group of verses, the likes of which have always annoyed me back in my Genesis videos. So the people did not wear jewelry because God said the people were stubborn, and I will destroy you, which we just read about in the previous verse. So God says to take off your jewelry, which they just did in the previous verse. So they took off their jewelry, which of course didn't include all the gold earrings that Aaron melted down and threw in the fire, and poof, out came a bull calf, which Moses then ground down to powder and made him drink. So Lord Yahweh was petulant, and would only speak to Moses from inside the sacred tent as a cloud or something. But Lord Yahweh spoke to Moses face to face, as someone would speak to a friend, which is totally not a contradiction where you can't see God and live. But wait for it, Moses will see God, or at least part of him, soon enough. So Moses says, Lord Yahweh, if you're not going with us, don't make us leave. And God changed his mind, again I guess. And then Moses asked, Lord Yahweh, please let me see the dazzling light of your omnipresence. God responds, well, okay, but you can't look at my face, because no one can see me and live, even though a bunch of people have already seen me and lived. Even you. I'll let you look at my back through an opening in the rock, and I will cover you with my hand until my omnipresence passes by. Peekaboo. Exodus 34. So after Lord Yahweh mooned Moses, he told him to come back up the mountain, yet again, because he had to give him the 10 Commandments again, since Moses smashed the last ones. God said, no one can come up with you, and animals can't even graze at the foot of the mountain, apparently. So Lord Yahweh says, I am the Lord, a God, who is not easy to anger, and full of compassion and mercy, despite all the stuff you've just read and seen thus far to the contrary. I am so compassionate and merciful and omnibenevolent that if you do anything wrong, I will only punish your family to the 3rd and maybe 4th generation. So even though the Israelites have proven to be a pretty stupid and fickle people, gotta work with what you have, I'm going to do awesome things for you guys. I will finally give you all of the land that I promised you, where a bunch of people already live. So don't make any treaties with them, cough cough Joshua, and take down all their stuff to other gods, especially that goddess Asherah. She doesn't return my calls anymore. Okay, so you ready, Moses? Start chiseling. No worshiping other gods. I tolerate no rivals. No treaties with other people. Don't marry foreign women, no matter how lusciously sexy they are. They will lead you away from me. Oh, and no metal gods. That's the devil's music. Keep that festival where you have to eat that crappy bread for 7 days. All your firstborn sons belong to me. All of your firstborn animals belong to me. You can buy back your sons and donkeys with baby lambs, though. But if you don't have a baby lamb, break the donkey's neck. I suppose that'll count for payment for your kids too, I guess. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Don't even pick up sticks. This must be a Christian calendar, since it says we get Sundays off. Celebrate 2 festivals, the Festival of Harvest and the Festival of Shelters. 3 times a year, all your men gotta come and worship me. Do not offer bread made with yeast when you sacrifice things to me. I hate that stuff that I made. It's all symbolic for when you had to run out of Egypt. Even though you had plenty of time to take all their loot, don't worry about it. Finally, and most importantly, no cooking baby goats in their mother's milk. That means you too, Satan. So Lord Yahweh asked Moses, "You done chiseling yet? Did you get all my instructions down?"
"No, not yet, Lord Yahweh."
So Moses stayed up on the mountain, another 40 bajillion long time, without food or water apparently. So there you go. The 10 Commandments. Moses went down the mountain with the 10 Commandments. And his face was shining, because he'd been speaking with the Lord. He did not know it. So he didn't know his face was shining, or he didn't know he had been speaking with the Lord. I hope it's the former. Anyway, I guess Moses' face was shining a lot after that, so he had to wear a veil from time to time. He was likely still not a good speaker, though.